Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Pixel here. Well, today, I'm guessing today we're gonna finish, and if we're not gonna finish today, it's gonna be almost close. Like, I believe today is probably the day we're gonna finish. Because uh, I keep looking at it, and if I want to make changes at it, are pretty small, probably details, and we can probably do that today. Well, I'm guessing, but you can always change that, right? So the thing that's coming after this, well, like I said, next after finishing this version of Joker, I'll just probably start working on Hydrox Deluxe, which is the next one I'm like considering building next. But yeah, it should be fun. And like I said, today's stream will be mostly working on the details of this build and just the finishing touches, because basically it's quite the image of what I wanted, right? So it's not going to be quite different, right? And I keep the camera, so I have to see how it goes, how it is right now. So it is a bit messy, but I'll have to fix it real quick. 1 second. Okay, so as this is what we were left off last week, it's not gonna be that different. I'm just checking here real quick. 1 second. Okay, I'm just putting some cool music, but we'll wait for people while I start working on this. Okay, so the music should start soon. Okay. Like I said, last week we advanced quite a lot on this. So let me just get perhaps a bit better lighting here. Let's see. Okay, and what we'll do here, well, this day is, let's try to, let me take out the sword and the hand that holds it. What we'll work on today is mainly changing this part. I want to change this centerpiece, and I also want to see if I can provide a better coverage to the back side, something like covers this part even when the sword is on, and I have an idea how to do that. Also, I want to cover this part a bit better so that it's better covered. I also have ideas of how to do that, and finish this part. And I think that will be it for this design. So it's basically just finishing touches, right? I do want to discuss a small change I made, and I'm still thinking about how perhaps changing it a bit, because last week, and I like this change, but this is such a small change that I didn't want to take it apart right away. So what I did is this piece here that acted as a chin, just like the silver tooth. See it? So I went ahead and replaced it with this skate, right? This black skate. The thing about this is it provides a better, in my opinion, a better shape for the jaw, because the skate itself has like an edge that hovers over the next part. But what I want to try is go back, instead of using the square 1x1 plate. Let me go back to just using the pin, so I can push this part up, and with this, I mean, it kind of looks the profile is better. And perhaps you can see it here. Let me see if you can see it better at this close-up. So it's a better profile for the head because it now has a smaller chin, but it still has a chin. And this is kind of what I wanted to do here. And this part, what I want to change here is basically try to replace this brick with a different shape, something like this, which is again a 2x1 plate, but this one has the small claws, right? And let me check that real quick. And let me work on this as well, because this part here I want to reinforce and make thicker with more details, the back part. But in general, it shouldn't take that long to work on this. Let me just take this out. Oh, let me move my keyboard because it's kind of hovering here. Okay, and I'm going to present this here again. I decided to go for putting like the extensions to be upwards a bit. It allows it to work better with the cover of the backside, and it also looks a bit better in my opinion. So that one is a bit up. And here, what I want to add as well, I was thinking about what alternatives do I have for that. And I was thinking of going with something like this, so that the profile has this volume here. So and the front, it looks like this. Let me see if I can show you to you on this camera. Here, okay. So basically, what I want to give is a bit more shape, or forward shape. And I didn't like this golden dot here as a detail, so I'll probably change. If I want to add detail in golden, I'll probably change a piece inside here. But I think this one provides a better overall shape on the chest. So that's the small design change. And I'll put this part soon. I just want to make some changes here. So this part here is the one I want to change. And what I'm thinking about, it's probably replacing that part with something like a slope, like a black slope. That could work. And I'm thinking of different options. Something like this could work, something like this could also work, or something like this. Let me just bump the camera a bit closer. Sorry for the earthquake look, but I did want to move it a bit closer. Hi Sato, how are you? Thanks for joining today. You have been on every stream, so it's only fair that you're on the one that I deem to be the last one for this build. I mean, you could have at least one more, but honestly I feel confident and I think it could be done today. I'm thinking of ways to create coverage for the additional shoulder part. Okay, so I think I have some pieces to try something out. try. How so? Well, I mean, I actually had some trouble sleeping last night as well, so there might be something causing that. But to be honest, the reason I didn't sleep, or I was not able to sleep well last night, for me at least, was my dog. Nothing bad, nothing to worry about. He just or climbed over me and just put himself over my face right in the middle of the night, and that just like scared me, and it took me a while to get back to sleep after that. Again, nothing serious, but still, it can take you out of your sleeping habit doing that. But I hope that for you it wasn't not it was also nothing serious as well, and it was just like a bit of insomnia, which it's quite regular. It's not good, but it's regular, and it's something sad. Okay, so I'm seeing how can I add volume here, but I'm really adding too much volume. Yeah, that happens as well. I mean, it's for me. It has happened as well that when I'm alone, for some reason, I think I. Well, let me put it in a different way. When I'm alone, I'm usually take that time to watch movies and play games that I usually don't have the time to play when I'm with my wife. So yeah, and well, let me just finish putting my case real quick. So it's for me, it's that sometimes I just take advantage of the time when I'm alone to do other things, and usually I take the time out of sleeping to do that. But what you're explaining is also possible, because if you left your door open and you usually don't do that, you'll start hearing noises, or perhaps you'll have like a feeling in your head that will like an unrest, that has happened to me as well. One time, I woke up in the middle of the night, uh, just thinking about. Perhaps it was something I dreamt. I cannot remember right now, but I do remember that uh, I was in my head. I forgot locking the door to the office. So, that was at 3 a.m. So at 3 a.m. I was all worried that I actually forgot to close the office door, and I've actually considered going back to the office to check that. But I didn't forget anything. It was just irrational fears that sometimes pop up in the middle of the night, and that happens more often than not. So yeah, don't think too much of it. If it was just one night, it could be nothing, and you'll probably sleep back tonight without issues. But if it's starting to become too often, do check that, because that's one of the things that we usually don't check too much about our health. Is our sleeping habits, and that could take that could actually have bigger repercussions on your health. So again, back to this. I'm trying to add volume here, and adding not just pure volume. By adding volume, it's just something that I can actually add here, that it can provide coverage, something like this, right? So it's just a small plating here, something like if I put here, it could work as this is just a pin with a 2x1 clip. But if I add it this way, it will provide like a coverage on an extension that if it was here, it will be just empty. But now it's a continuation here. And I'll try to do the same with the other side and the head. So on this side, what I came out with the idea on this side is to replace this entirely with a ball joint. And I'll show you why real quick. So put this here. Okay. And if I replace this here with a ball joint, then I'll probably be able to do something like this. So if I put it back here, I'm not feeling the lights. For some reason I'm seeing it as, today I don't see many, well, it's all black, which usually with Lego is kind of tough. But I don't feel the lights are doing like enough work. I think past streams might have a bit of better lighting. Okay, but I'll try to do my best with this. Again, I don't know if it's the camera itself. Let me just check it out real quick. Okay, so here. Honestly, I don't know, but it's quite one of the things I would change ASAP as well, because you always have to work around the coloring of the ball joints. Trying to fix that. So I'm not super happy about that either. But I do get your point. So by adding this, I can probably create a cover that comes. But yeah, I would like as well to finally be able to replace color ball joints. But give it time. If they're going to do it, it's going to start doing it in a slow roll. But the thing is, usually they produce certain amount of parts, and it's just about perhaps figuring out how to reuse those parts. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Do you know which one is the biggest offender out of that particular color coding that you're referring to? These parts here are the biggest headache out of them all, because usually these parts come in very limited amount of colors. So for example, this pen with half an axle, half a pen, I think I have it in black, but and also in blue, but if those are the only two colors I've seen them. And same goes with these pins. I think I only have them in gray, in black, and that's it. With the difference being, I think I'm not sure if I have them in blue also. I think only, yeah. So I don't know if you notice. Yes, so it's I mean, depending on the type of color, but the thing is, the black ones usually have more friction than the gray ones. So I don't know if it's just because of a time period where they were designed, but yeah, those pins usually are the headache of. Yeah, the gray ones they're you can use them on wheels. Basically, that's for the design for wheels. The black ones usually have more, well, have friction. The other ones don't have any friction. Okay, so I'm thinking about what to do here. And if I do that, if I add something like a single pin here, this single pin here, oh yeah, you mean this one. You have this blue one, the three long pin, which this one has friction, and you can tell there's a simple way to know which one has friction or not. And the simplest way is if you find a pin, any pin at all. So the black one still takes the pin inside, right? It's loose, but it takes the pin. The blue one does not take the pin anymore. So this is the biggest indication of friction added to the piece, because the shape inside is actually not a circle. It's more like a square, or a shape similar to that. Yeah, Technics. I remember old Technics they were less. The colors were less like shiny, or I don't know how to say that, but they were, at least they were muted colors like gray or black. Most of the pins and the pieces. Then they started using those blue ones and yellow ones. I think the purpose of those colors is actually, I think I read something about that once. I think the purpose of those color codings was actually so you can actually fit or figure out where to add them easier, and figure out where the connections are on the Technic pins. But I mean, they probably have their reasons to do that, so I'm not going to totally start questioning their process. But yeah, I do find it kind of odd with the Technics, especially these days. So as it is right now, this is what I want to do. I want to add volume at the top and closure to some parts. So this area here, you can see I changed. Yeah, it's easy identification. That's correct. So I changed here this for a ball joint. Correct. That's my point. And I think they gave you to recognize which one you need is on the instruction page. They had the length one, and you had to compare. That's it. And then I think someone might have complained. I don't know who, but I believe that's always the reason why someone makes a change. Someone complained. It's probably that. And if someone complained, they probably figured out that they needed to make a change somewhere. Yeah. So I'm thinking about, so I move this 2x2 square plate here. So I have to figure out what to add here at the top. I'll probably just replace this long one with a single 2x1 plate. We'll just move this piece one up, but it does look a bit better, but the problem is it moves the head too forward. Yeah, like I said, probably someone complained about it being too difficult to identify. And again, I don't mind, except that the fact that it limits the type of, or the amount of colors that usually goes to some pieces. which I also kind of understand on the production level, because on the production level, the more pieces of different colors you make, the bigger the catalog, and it becomes more of a mess. So I do understand, for example, having less pieces of a certain color, it's easier on the production side of things. So it's not like I don't totally understand why they do it. I do, but it's a bit sad that it restricts the way they make pieces. So I'm thinking about having this and having this colors here. No, not the colors, the shape. Thinking about what can I do about here. And if I put this here, the slope, I can probably just do something here, like another plate. That is also correct. When you put it on the production side of things, I mean, having that many pieces and many colors is a mess. And also remember I think I remember seeing that the pieces that they put in the sets, that process is automated. So, and they don't count pieces, they count weight. They weight the pieces. So when they drop in certain pieces on the boxes, they know the amount of they have to weight, or they know the weight that goes through each box, or for each piece they need. Which is why for small pieces, that's actually the reason why for small pieces you actually get extras. The thing is, they get extra because that goes on the weight. If the weight of the piece is too small, they just go a bit over, so you usually get one piece extra for small pieces. That one I saw somewhere. I don't remember where. But I found that quite interesting, because that was the reason of why you get extra of smaller pieces. Usually because it's a weight thing. Okay, let me try putting this here at the back and see that volume actually looks better. So it looks like this, right? And if it goes like this, all I have to do is add perhaps a bit volume on this part, so it can like belong better. So let me try adding more volume here to this particular part. I think I can do that by just adding a 1x2 plate, small plate here. So let me try something real quick, because I don't know how if you're seeing it, but on my end I see it a bit too blurry for my taste. Let me try something real quick. Okay, so what I did was to just move the camera a bit more up, and it probably will give more light and space for it to focus. Do you see it better? Or do you see any difference at all? Oh, thanks. Better. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's one of the downside of working with black, and it also applies for example, with cameras. Black is a pain to photograph. Okay, so I'm just trying to add more finishing details everywhere. Like if this one has like a clear piece at the top, I'll put a clear piece here as well. Thing. Looking here, I have to add a single pen here, single pen here, so so it can match the new length that I added here. This here, I'm just building shapes in general and see how they work. Adding again, just adding shapes in general, see how they work, how what's the function. Right now, the purpose of all of this right now is just adding volume to this. I just want to see how it looks. I'm trying to do like a decent shape cloak, all of that goes around here, right? But something that holds the shape. Trying shapes and seeing which one works better. Sarah, quick question. If we finish today, which I think we can, I'm again pretty optimistic about finishing this build today. Would you stick for the new build as well? Would it be interesting? Because I'm thinking about making Hypixel looks. That's probably the next build I'll make. And it's a bit of a different process because this process is a creative process because I'm designing everything from scratch. Hydros Deluxe, it's a model that we already have a design for it. So it's just about sticking to the design, and usually the process is a bit different because I start with a rough shape, and then I'll go back and start making changes and try to get the shape I want, but it's more straightforward in a way. So I do hope that you'll stick around for that. Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about. Perhaps adding a different time for the next stream. Because I noticed, I mean, this time works for me, but it's probably not the best for many people that want to join. Because I noticed that some of the people that want to join and have written to me on Twitter, for example, they're on an Asian time zone. One of the people that wrote to me was from Japan, so the time zone is totally a mess for them. And if I want to do like something like that type of time zone, I would have to figure out something like probably a morning for me. I would have to check that out, and if it's a morning for me, I probably have to move that to my Sunday, which could be your Monday. It's something I'm thinking about. Probably how to do that better, right? Because I know for certain that there are some people that, nah, but I mean, if I can try to work around a time zone that more people can join live and perhaps ask me questions, I could try perhaps adding one of the sessions in a different time. So perhaps something like, okay, Wednesday today it will be the same this time, but on the weekends I'll probably try to do them on Sunday, something like that. But I have to double check the time zones and see how they work, because it would probably have to be like Sunday morning to be like your Monday, for it to be your Monday afternoon. No, so it's my morning. It's probably your. I'll have to figure it out. Time zones are a mess. Yeah, it's 6:39 p.m. for me, right? Which is right after work for me, which is perfect. I'm just here at the office and I just set up the lights and the camera and I'll start the streaming, right? But again, if it works, or if it kind of works for more people in a different time zone, I could consider doing that. Okay, so I've come to an yes. So if like for you it's too late, well, too early perhaps. So I'm thinking about let me see, 8 hours difference. So if I do it at 8 a.m., that would be your afternoon on a Sunday. For example, if I start at 8, well, let's not go crazy. Let's try 9 a.m. 9 a.m. would be what? 5 for you? 5 p.m. for you on a Sunday. Would that work for you? I'm just wondering if for example, would you be able to join on an afternoon? Because even if it's like 2 a.m. Yes. But if you're able to join at that time, or perhaps you're busy on Sundays and you cannot join on Sunday afternoons, it could be because usually people usually have either talk to their family or do something or have plans for Sunday afternoon. So I don't know if that would be actually worse. And it's just a question, and seeing what actually works. Okay. So the reason I'm asking for this is, again, I noticed some people want to watch the stream and they want to watch it at different times, something like Asian or Europe time, which could be a problem for me, but perhaps a middle ground could work for everyone. And again, I'm eager to have people join on the stream and ask me questions, because Again, I have people that check the VOD and ask me questions after, which is totally fine. I actually like that as well. So if you have any questions, if you're checking this on VOD and you have any questions, just DM me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll help you with anything, any question you have. But perhaps they want to know something while I do it, and they just miss a chance. And I think that could probably could probably help live what I'm doing it and explain it. So I'm just thinking about what's probably a better option. Like here, I'm just changing and seeing pieces and see which one works a bit better. Because this one, while it doesn't have the nice shape that this one gives, but this one is closer to the arm, so it's probably something I could do. Yes, and that's the I think that's the main, not problem, but I've noticed that, for example, mech building in general in Lego has a bigger target audience in Asia, right? Not saying that there are not mech builders in America that, or people that are interested in America per se, but I've come to accept that it's more popular in Asia in general, and I mean various countries, not just Japan. Although Japan is as a big part of the mech building community, right? For example, one of the people I admire most that builds mechs, Lusim, I think he's from Malaysia or Philippines. I'm not sure. I would have to check again. I remember when I spoke to him, he told me, but I actually forgot. Sorry about that. And yes, and he has gone to I think it's Malaysia. I think he has gone to many expos in Japan, and being on that time zone for him, it's quite easier. That if, for example, I wanted to try to go to a convention in Japan, which I'm actually trying to convince my wife. If I manage to get invited to one, I'll probably go the extra length to go, even if I don't speak Japanese. But I'll try to learn something, and if I'm invited to one of those things, ever, no, I'm not saying I'm worthy of doing that. If it happens for any reason, trust me, I will do anything in my power to go. It's one of the things I want to do. But again, it's not like I'm saying I'm worthy of doing that, of going there, because believe me, there are better builders outside. I'm just a bit better than average, in my opinion. So I'm testing new positions of this, see which one works better. For example, there's a Japanese builder, which, in my opinion, is one of the most famous builders, Moko, right? That's M-O-K-O. He's just, I mean, he's amazing. His attention to details and the quality of his work is just, mwah. So I'm not at his level, yeah. You give me too much credit. But thank you, I do appreciate the comment. I do know that, for example, my strong suit is not just like building techniques, because there are better people that do that, but I do have some usage of color that most people don't try to use the some of the color combinations I go for. So I think that's the only thing that might make me a bit unique. It's the colors I use, but that's it. Okay, I'm testing new things here. I forgot. I actually never figured out which who was the person that said that the devil's on the details, right? And I once said that none of my designs are finished, right? They're just good enough for that period. So when for example, this is finished, for me it just means it's good enough for now. I cannot think of something else I want to change, but give it time. It'll come to me, something I will want to change in the future, either by the pieces I get or pieces that are released, or something I just came to me. I'll probably end up changing it eventually. And the color things, I know that's probably one of the things I'm better known for. Okay, so I'm trying a few things here. I think it looks better this way, actually. I set it up on a different hinge, a totally different hinge. And it looks bulkier, in my opinion, and with a better shape in general. Try adding the something I just fell out, but it's backwards. I'm gonna try adding the sword and see if it clips. If it doesn't clip, then all this side was in vain. So it has to clip. Otherwise it was. kind of works, right? That's the problem. That's the only problem I see with this camera setup. Is usually when I work on it, I never put it on its back. I usually work on it on its side. And if I put it on the back, like I did right now, it doesn't balance perfectly. Like it doesn't balance correctly, so I don't get to see it. Yes. And I don't know if that's probably, I also read somewhere that Lego was changing the plastic that it was using for the pieces. That's just to become a bit more green, and I think they're using a type of plastic that's more biodegradable or something like that. It probably has to do with the strength of the pieces, and I've noticed it even more with clips. So clips, they're more fragile now than they were before. That's for sure. That's probably where I notice it the most. Okay, so basically this is the look I wanted to give it. So it's white at the top, but more so on this side due to like the cloak, and this side should still holds the arm with the sword. That could also be, but again, the more or the thing I notice it the most is with clips, and I've noticed it with newer clips. Well, let me show you something, because it also depends on the design. And there are pros and cons to both of the changes I've seen over the years, right? So for example, the 1x1 clip. So this is the old design, right? The old design, it's thick here and just goes to the square at the bottom, right? While it does provide a good strength, it breaks easier, right? This one here, you'll notice the difference, right? The clip is actually, it doesn't go this way anymore, it just goes down. It's better at clipping in general than this one, but it breaks, but it also, well, I don't know, both break easier. I think this one lasts longer. The thing is, it doesn't break, it just becomes looser, easier over time. This one doesn't, but it tends to break easier, right? I don't know if I explained that correctly. So these are the two type of clips that there are. But clips in general for me are a pain in the ass because they tend to break super easy. Okay, so I'm going to try to add details here, right? I'm trying to see what details I can add. Let me try to find something in perhaps light gray. For example, let me change this. That was another one that I know was an illegal technique before, but now it's certainly legal, right? And I think the first time I saw it as a legal technique was on the helicarrier instructions, but I could be wrong. But that was the first time I personally saw it as a legal technique. I mean, okay, I get what you mean. The old design of the clip, it is less flexible. So when you put a plate on it, it does tend to distress the piece more. That's correct, because this one, not having this attached to the bottom, can open more. But in my opinion, it makes them easier to break at the long run. The thing is, this one usually don't break as easy, they just lose grip, and because became too loose. But it could be that this one has more strength in general than this, and that's probably true. I've also seen that type of redesign with, give me 1 second and I'll show you the piece I'm referring to. Here, so this arms, I don't have many of the old designs. For example, this parts, I have a bit of the old design, old type of design, but I don't know where I have them, or if still have some of them that I have not broken yet. But this part was also redesigned, as far as I remember. But I don't see the pieces, and I think I had another one of those. Oh well. But yeah, this one changed. The other one has a different grip here at the top. So this part at the top was different. But I cannot find, for the life of me, that piece, because I know I have one. It was not a big redesign, but it was a design change for sure. Yeah, I don't have that piece with me right now. Probably somewhere in my piece collection. But okay, that's not quite important right now. I'm just checking to see what can we do with this. So I'm just trying things here. For example, if I put these loops are the two studs wide, not the single ones. I'm trying to see if I can add like a different shape with this, and adding this curved part goes with this part, so it provides a nice continuity here. And if I add a single here, I can add like a triangle here. Something like this. I'm also trying to see if, okay, I got this gold parts, to see if I can replace perhaps the neck and change it to gold. And perhaps instead of having the dot here, having the neck being gold. That's probably the change I want to try. Like this. something like this. But perhaps not the entire piece, just one piece, not the entire neck. Would be a good detail. Let me check what happened with the music. One second. Okay. Okay, I'm changing music. Give me 1 second. While we wait for it to load, let me just put this back here. And this is what I mean by that. Let me try and find a clip again. I go through these clips. I'm trying to see if I can find a stronger clip in general. Yeah, perhaps a 2x1 can work here. So one of the things I want to do when I finish this is I'll figure out any pieces that are, I know I like the way they are, but perhaps are too loose or too brittle, and I'll just replace them with the same color but a newer, stronger one. So that's a simple thing that I probably do, but won't require any like additional work or design part. Okay, now that I got this arm, I'll try to add it here as a greebling part here at the bottom. How do you like it? Saro, do you like it? How is it coming by? I'm just adding plating here, in general, just cover. Yeah, these are just designed, so I'm just testing and see. This is the last part in general, which is just greebling, right? And it's just like the finishing touches. I think I could probably do that better with a golden piece. I don't know if I have, oh yeah, I do. So something like this part here. Because right now with the black background, it doesn't show the triangle shape. But if I put a golden piece here, you'll see that the black triangle like pops up in this shape. For example, this part, this clip, I know I'll change because it's just too loose, but I'll change this one. But right now it's not something design-wise I want to change. It's just a piece part. But I like the shape that it has. So seeing the original design, I changed the cloak. But I do kind of like how it is right now. But one thing I could add, and I'm thinking about adding, so I need to find these pieces. Something like this. Something like this, right? That this one has a pin, so I could put some color into this part. Could be. Let me just try and see how it goes. Perhaps adding some additional color parts here as well. Like one here as well. And perhaps adding things like this gold dot here. Then I can also add one here and this one here, so it creates like a flow of gold dots. And these are the type of things that I kind of make that perhaps no one else notices, but I know that it's there. Like this small design pattern here, gold dots. But I just like adding that type of stuff in general. Searching for some gold pieces. And let me try out some of these color. Perhaps I can add something like this. Okay, I'll get that piece later. Oh, that happens. Some pieces fly around. So let pieces be pieces. Just figuring out what can I use of the pieces I have here to start adding details here and there. But I do hope, Saturday, that at least not only you're learning something from this stream, but you're also kind of relaxing, right? So I know even if it's like 3 AM for you now, I hope that at least you're having a good chill time. That's why I always try to go for something like relaxing music as well. So I would understand if you fell asleep during the stream. I thank you for joining first. But I would understand as well. here's the thing, I'm not struggling. That's the good part about all of this, because while it's creatively challenging, it's not a struggle, it's a challenge, right? I hope you understand what I mean. It's because struggling means that it's not satisfactory, or it doesn't bring any type of satisfaction, it's just a problem. While being challenging means that it's difficult, but it's fun. Oh yeah, sure. I also tend to, I have some subscriptions in YouTube which are just people building things. But yes, it's just about trying to add flair to the builds I make. And I hopefully you like the end process as well. So I'm going to try changing this with this parts here. Just so that it has perhaps like a bit of detail there. It's not much, it's actually very little, but it's there. It's not like a plain black thing. With that, it's just hints of different color that you can actually see better when it's on its side, right? This one's here. It's just not a black piece, it's just... And for example, if I put something like this here, with perhaps too much green here. And if I put this plate here, gold, probably work. And perhaps a black 2x2 here in the back. Oh. So I did also, real quick, I said I was going to try the Monster Hunter Switch demo. I haven't. That's my bad. But I promise I'll try to do that, because again I'm curious. You actually got me curious last time to try it, and I will. It's just that I don't want to say I'm too busy, because no, I can always make time to play, but just I've been too lazy to actually play it. Let's be honest. Let me try to replace this dribbling part here with something different. No, but I don't quite like it. don't know. I'm not gonna get the game right away, but I want to try the demo. I downloaded it. That's the least I can do for it. I can try the demo, see if I actually like it or not. But yeah, it does look a bit chaotic, full of chaos. So that's true. But I could give it a go. At least the demo. I'll try the demo. That's for sure. So this is how it's looking now. And again, it's not 1-1 with the drawing, right? But it's not that far away. Right? So if you look at it, it's not super far from what drawing started, right? Of course, it's not the same, but considering you can always you cannot always do the same shapes. It's quite similar, and I also change design here and there in parts. For example, these are not checkered, but it's just a gradient, a simple gradient, and these parts are not quite the same, but they do look quite similar, which is, I like that. Let me just turn this, for example, let's turn this this part here inside. I think it's easier this way. Yeah, but in general, the shape is there. We try to maintain the shape of the leg as much as we could. The overall shape of the knees. Of course, we cannot do better because we're working with limited type of pieces with the colors we want to use, but it's not bad. It has highlights here and there that represent the same colors. Of course, we changed the white for like gray and dark gray. It'll probably look better on photos, right? Because the streaming camera doesn't show all the details. Let me try to put it here, right? So if you look at that like this, it kind of looks quite a lot like the design. As you can imagine, this camera is flipped, so this is why this is on this side and not the other one. but yeah, it looks quite good. Actually, quite like it how it's turning out. And considering that the blade, I didn't do any design. I just set the sides. It's looking. Okay, so okay, I got what you mean. I could try that. I just felt going with one color, but I could try changing that. Let me try doing that. Okay, so I'm just trying with the knees. There are some pieces inside that I can change, but we're just testing. It doesn't look bad when switched, actually. Once you do the swap, it's not that of a crazy. I mean, of course, there are things here. For example, this inside the inside of the knee is this. I would have to change that, but just testing with the knees, it looks good by having the cross coloring, right? Something like this. And of course, the pretty small sword that's next to it. I know. To be honest, I like it this way more. But I also like it the other way, so it's a difficult decision, to be honest. Correct. So the simple mathematic is, does it add more than it takes? Right? That would be the simplest mathematics. And honestly, I think it adds a bit more than what it takes. Not much, but just a bit. Yeah, I know. That's usually, when that happens, I usually sleep on it, which is probably what I'll do. I can call it finished and still think about what to do about it. But I do know what you mean. I'm probably going to sleep on it. Could be. Or with the arms. Like keep this side of the mech the one color and keep this side in a different color. So perhaps the arms are the key as well. Or at least the lower parts. Right? Like something like, I mean, replace the plating here. Something like this. Which doesn't look bad either. The thing is, if you switch the head and keep the arms the same way, you're basically doing switch here, 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 and here. You're doing 4 switches, right? Which could work, or you can also see just 2 switch. So 1 switch right in the middle and 1 and go back, and that's it. Like 1/2 is one set of one side for each color and 1/2. Because if you do it the other way, it's just you're doing 4 changes, 4 swaps. Because this is a swap, this is a swap, and this is a swap. But as it is right now, this is a swap for this. And again, I know it's kind of complicated, and I'm not sure what to do. But I'm sure of one thing. I like this silhouette, the main design. I like that. That I probably won't change. I'll just add more details or take more details. That's probably the only thing I'm going to do. But in general, yes, that's probably what I'm seeing. Right now it's just 2 swaps, right? You can work with many swaps, but you have to make it that, right? And Joker was like that. Joker was color swaps everywhere. Which this version itself doesn't have that many swaps, because you can see it's like one extremity is one color. It's not working with many swaps. So it's an interesting thing. Not the worst type of problem to have. Let me try and make additional changes here, and I'll show you what I'm planning to do real quick. I'm just trying to find pieces here. Something like this. Here. So by using this, I'm just creating lines, right? And I can probably, let's see if I can add them here, if they're not too much of a problem. Let me take this out real quick, because these ones are complicating this a bit more than I would like to. Something like this. Which adds another layer of color, not too much, because you only see the lines itself. And of course, if I align them better, it would look even better. So this is not bad, this addition here. And let me check if it breaks the movement of the leg. It doesn't, right? The movement of the leg is still there. And adds a hint of color. It's not too much. Just like this part here, there's color hints everywhere, right? Like here, there's like small lines, and that does the same function for the legs. But you know what? I'm actually happy with this. The only changes I would do, or I would make to this now, just finding the pieces that I know are loose to replace like this. That clip I'm going to change. But in general, I think it's done. I add the sword here. Let me change the camera output. This is what looks with the sword attached, right? I'm trying to figure out the best way to hold it. So this, what looks, the sword attaches. It's attached in place. This small bot detaches completely, and these blades as well are designed to be detached. So let me take out the add-ons, right? So in theory, if I take out the bot that holds the sword, let me take the blades. This is what it looks like without like all the add-ons, right? Still looks quite formidable, right? This is without all the add-ons like the blades and stuff. And these are, let me show you this real quick on the other camera. This is basically with the add-ons. So this works again the same way, like shield blades that he can throw. This being the big sword that it's handled by a small drone. I could add some details to the drone. So one of the things I added here, for example, each side is hollow, right? So I made that with this in mind. So each side having like a thruster. So it would be in theory okay, I'll switch that. Give me 1 minute and I'll do the swap. This is what I mean here. So this means it has like thrusters all over the place of the drone, which means if this is its function, it can allow us the swap the swap. I just have to swap this one for a whole one. Let's get the arms back to the color that, and see if it looks better or not. Okay, so this is back to what it was. Want me to swap the head? Just to check. Let me try the head. It won't take me that long to test that. Oh, okay, so let me keep this and this too. Like this. Let me just replace this, just because I found, like, I don't have a single round stud of this color, but I do have two types of flower, ironically. So I have this one and this one. This one is a bit more round. So let me try just changing for that. Like this. This one's, swap them, okay. What do you think? It's a bit mismatched, but it's not wrong. I get what you mean. So, for example, this part is like a line of color, right? And this part is also a line, and this is, so the swap is not horizontal, it's vertical. So this is this is a section here. This is another section, and this is another section. Okay, I get it. So you're basically swapping vertically, not horizontally, which works as well. And actually does make sense. How about, let me try this real quick. With the swap that we made there at the top, how about we swap it here as well? So it's just 3 swaps, right? So it's this, right? And this. This is just, in theory, 3 sections. So one side, middle, and on the other side. Which one do you like better? I tend to go for this one, actually. Yep, I actually like it a bit more this way. So swapping this could have been a solution. And just leave, like, the core is a set of colors, and one side and the other. Vertically works. Actually, I like that a lot. This is my favorite so far. I don't know if for you that's the same.
Prepare yourself.
Yep. it does. Because on the drawing, it's head and chest, same color. Legs, different color than the chest. And here we have a mismatch of color on the drawing. But what we did is we just make it whole. Because we're not working with checkers on this design. But it's actually looking quite good, to be honest. Here I just swapped the detail to add this, add another plate here, just to add volume and shape. It's nothing that complicated. But honestly, it looks remarkably similar to the design. Let me just attach this back. What do you think? I think I can call it done. These ones? No, I like them. I mean, these are additionals that are not there, but I like the concept that this being a whole. So I'll keep them there. Of course, I need to work on things like, for example, here I have to swap back the colors. Just so that they belong with the same color of the leg. But I'll work that separately. That's not something that needs to be done right now. But as it is right now, this is my go-to. Honestly, I think it's not bad. Let me just attach this again. I think it's done. I think we built the new Joker. And I'm honestly happy with it. Because it looks strikingly similar to the design that we made. I like the asymmetry. I like the shape, the overall shape, the silhouette. I like that we were able to get something similar to the drawing. Quite similar, actually. So yeah, I'm happy. Do so. Look, if you don't try it, you're never going to know if you like it or not. That's for sure. If you have any questions, just write me. Send me a DM, either on Twitch, on Twitter, or Instagram, and I'll help you with anything. you've been with me on this since all the way, and I'm thankful for that. But I think for today we can call it a day, and I'm happy with the result because we actually have a design that I'm super happy with. I think it's safe to call it complete. First complete build done on stream, for me at least. And thank you for joining me on this, especially through all this streams. This is the 7th stream, I think, for this build. So it's been a hopefully not a boring journey. I hope hopefully you had fun. It's me as well. I'm happy you're here with me as well, and thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I know for you it's quite early or late, depending on what you call it, but and this part is just for whoever is on the VOD checking, because I know people checking on VOD as well. Even if you were not able to check with me on here on Twitch live, thank you for checking the videos as well, and being there with me, and same applies. If you want to join or have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try to figure out a different time zone and test and see if it works. Oh yeah, and Sado, yes. I hope you like the process. It's not like a rigid process. It's not like straightforward. Like today I'm gonna work on one leg or one arm. No. The way I work in particular is just I'll start with a skeleton, with a shape generally of what I want. But if you remember, we swapped the thighs, right? So it's not straightforward, and it's just about working on it slowly and hopefully giving it a better look over time, right? But I do believe that this for me it was fun, and I'm always looking forward to Wednesdays and Saturdays for stream days, and I'll keep doing that. I'll keep doing my streams, and again next week, well, not next week, on Saturday/Sunday, I'll start working on Hydrox. That should be straight. Believe it or not, even if it's a more complex design, I think it's a more straightforward process, because it doesn't involve any creative process in the think of design. It involves creative process in the way of giving it shape, which is different. I don't have to put, there's creative input in how to build a shape or a thing, but there's nothing like I want to change the arms, right? So for that, it's going to be an interesting series, the new one. But I do want to thank you, both the people that join on Twitch and the people checking the VODs. Thank you for joining me on this process. Next, for this build, it's just photos. I'll be using my faithful light box. And I'll take the photos either tomorrow or the day after that, and I'll post them so you can check them out, right? And I'll put a small Twitch icon, like built on Twitch. It will be an interesting remark for this build. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Hope you had a great time. Again, join me on Saturday/Sunday. I probably won't change the time for the next stream, or let me think about it. I'll post on my social media, see if I change the time for the next stream. I'll try to see if we can start perhaps on a small stream for tests on a different time zone and see if it works, right? I'll see that, and I'll check. I'll see if I can work with that. Okay. But again, thank you so much. I'm gonna end the stream real soon, but I don't want to end it again. Thank you for joining. No matter how you join, thank you. And I hope you're well. I hope you're fine. I hope you had fun. I hope this helped you learn. I hope you were entertained through the process. And I hope I can see you on the next one. And side note, Sado, thank you for being on all the streams. You're the good ones. So, well, okay, I'll finish it up. But have a great night, morning, afternoon, depending on where you're looking and at what time. Just have a great time. Okay, bye.